Zero tolerance was interpreted as the policy that separated children from their
If I get arrested for DUI and I have a young child in the car, I'm going to be separated. When I was a police officer in New York and I arrested a father for domestic violence.
Legal asylees are not charged with any crime.
When you're into the country illegally, it's violation 8 United States Code 1325.
Seeking asylum is legal.
If you want to seek asylum, you go through the port of entry, do it the legal way. The Attorney General...
Hey folks, welcome back. You ever notice how some politicians love asking emotional questions, right up until someone answers them with cold, hard facts? Because that's exactly what happened when AOC tried to corner ICE Director Tom Homan in Congress. She came in loaded with drama, a memo, a gotcha question, and a ton of outrage. And within seconds, Homan calmly tore the whole narrative to shreds. No yelling, no insults, just law, logic, and common sense. This exchange perfectly exposes the difference between activism and actual governance. By the end, AOC looked like someone who hadn't even read the law she's supposed to help enforce. Let's dive in.
How did we get to this point? How did we get to this point where we take children out of mothers' and fathers' arms? And, it dated back, family separation, the way that we have seen it, where we take children away from their parents without due process, began last year under Secretary Kirstjen Nielsen. But I had to dig further, and our staff dug further. But where did this start within the administration? She implemented it. And we found a memo. It dates back to April 23rd of 2018, where there was an official recommendation to, quote, pursue prosecution of all amenable adults who cross our border, quote, illegally, even though this applied to legal asylum seekers in practice, including those presenting with a family unit between ports of entry in coordination with DOJ. Here is the memo that I would like to submit to the congressional record. And so I looked at this memo, and it seems like this is the source of it. And it seems as though, Mr. Homan, that you are the author. It says here from yourself, Kevin Michalinen, and Francis Cisna. Is this correct? Did you sign the memo?
I'd have to see what you...
Yeah, give her an...
I'd be happy to provide it. And we'll provide it over, but I would like to note that here it says the official recommendation. There were 3 different options presented. The third included the option for family separation. This initiative would pursue prosecution of all amenable adults, including those presenting with a family unit. Mr. Homan, your name is on this. Is this correct?
Yes, I signed that memo.
So you are the author of the family separation policy?
I am not the author of this memo.
You're not the author, but you signed the memo.
Yes, a zero tolerance memo.
So you provided the official recommendation to Secretary Nielsen on for the United States to pursue family separation.
I gave Secretary Nielsen numerous recommendations on how to secure the border and save lives.
But it says here that you gave her numerous options, but the recommendation was option 3, family separation.
What I'm saying, this is not the only paper where we've given the Secretary numerous options to secure the border and save lives.
And so the recommendation, of the many that you recommended family separation.
I recommended zero tolerance.
Which includes family separation.
The same as is with every U.S. citizen parent gets arrested when they're with a child.
Zero tolerance was interpreted as the policy that separated children from their
If I get arrested for DUI and I have a young child in the car, I'm going to be separated. When I was a police officer in New York and I arrested a father for domestic violence, I separated that father from his
Mr. Homan,
family.
with all due respect, legal asylees are not charged with any crime.
When you're into the country illegally, it's violation 8 United States Code 1325.
Seeking asylum is legal.
If you want to seek asylum, you go through the...
If you want to seek asylum, go to a port of entry. AOC walks into this hearing clearly trying to create a viral moment. She starts with this emotional framing about children being ripped from parents and immediately blames zero tolerance like it's some uniquely evil policy. But Tom Homan doesn't take the bait. He calmly explains something obvious to anyone who's ever dealt with law enforcement. When someone breaks the law and gets arrested, separation happens. It happens to American citizens every single day. She tries to pivot. Asylum seekers aren't criminals, and this is where it completely falls apart. Homan reminds her, point blank, that crossing the border illegally is a violation of U.S. law. Seeking asylum is legal, but only if you do it the legal way, at a port of entry. That's not opinion, that's the law. And watching him explain this to a sitting member of Congress is honestly wild. Then comes her big gotcha moment. She pulls out a memo, points to his name, and acts like she just exposed the mastermind behind family separation. Homan, completely unfazed, says yes, he signed it, because it was about enforcing the law consistently. Zero tolerance means the law applies to everyone. That's not radical, that's basic governance. She keeps pushing, trying to force him into the villain role, but he won't crack. He stays calm, factual, and direct. And then he flips it right back on Congress, pointing out that lawmakers failed to secure the border, failed to close loopholes, and now want to blame enforcement officers for the chaos they created. This wasn't shouting. This wasn't theatrics. This was a professional explaining reality to a politician who clearly didn't want to hear it. And that's why this exchange hit so hard. If you believe in law, order, and actual accountability, you already know who won this one. Here's the exchange that sealed it. I find it very offensive that anybody would compare any federal employee, frankly, to someone who ran Nazi concentration camps. That is very offensive. I have 15 seconds, and I yield it to you. Thank you for saying that. I wish somebody in Democratic leadership would say that out loud. Look, you want to know why there's 50,000 people in detention. You want to know why we have 1 million illegal entries in the United States. You want to know why we have these issues. Because you have failed to secure the border. You have failed to work with this president to close the 3 loopholes we've asked for 2 years to close. So if you want to know why this issue exists, you need to look in the mirror. You have failed. The American people are not securing the border or closing loopholes. Mr. Homan, please respect the chair and the authority of the chair. The time of the gentleman has expired. I've asked you politely to let me go beyond my time, and you let other people go beyond their time, but not Tom Homan. He don't get to go beyond his time. Mr. Homan, we have approved an agreement between the Republicans and the Democrats with the ranking member. We increased the time of one witness and one member of Congress who was interrupted by a protest that is done with the approval of the ranking member. Please respect the chair's authority. The general, I respect the chair's authority by the chair. Mr. Homan, you work for me. I'm a taxpayer. You work for me? If you're sick of the double standards, the selective outrage, and politicians who lecture enforcement while refusing to fix the laws they wrote, smash that like button, drop your thoughts in the comments, and hit subscribe right now. We're not letting this slide. More coming your way. Thanks for watching. See you in the next one.